Hello, greetings from Waliczka, near Krakow, in Poland again. As usual, turning the music down before anything else. I'm really here this time just to say thank you to everybody who participated in or who came along to the Cafe OTO event of Fourth Dimension Records last Saturday, a week ago, basically. It was a success. There was a good crowd, mostly. A couple of my friends complained about some drunken idiots not moving out the way when they were asked politely to do so. But other than that, good atmosphere, great crowd, very responsive to all of the artists, as diverse as they or we all were. I say we because Splintered, the group that I'm in, also participated. I think it was just probably the best label night so far. So I'm honestly still reeling from it, although I'm still a little frazzled from only having returned from England, and it was quite a whirlwind of a trip for the 6 days that I was there. And I only got back on Tuesday night, very late at night as well. I didn't get home until about 12:30, past midnight. So Wednesday, basically. So it was quite a late night. But I'm still a little frazzled because of all the travelling and everything else, all of the organising and everything else that I had to undergo while I was there, that I had to take care of. But I can honestly say it was a very satisfying night. And it's not to slight the other ones. All of the other ones, all the previous label events in London have been good, very good. But this one just seemed to slot into place slightly better. Maybe partly because of the crowd. I had a good number of friends there as well. Unfortunately, I couldn't catch up with all of them. But there were a lot of friends, a lot of familiar faces, just a generally good crowd. Alternative TV, who were on last, they were on fire. It was a great set. It was fantastic. And anybody that knows me will know I'm repeating myself here. Maybe I've said it here before. I'm on board with whatever Mark Perry does, and he changes his mind quite often. I've realised, and I've told him that as well. So I'm not saying anything, untoward here. He is fickle, so but I find that quite endearing. It's a facet of his personality I quite like, because it means he's questioning, some of his own decisions. And I know even since last Saturday, he's changed his mind about certain things. But I'll go into that in a minute. But ATV were really good. They did a set devoted to early songs from 1977 to 81, and they delivered. They delivered a really good set. Nasty Little Lonely, Lost in Room, and a couple of other songs really stood out for me. But the whole set was strong. I think Mark Perry very often says this is kind of the punk period, but it goes beyond regular punk, you know, as ATV always did. There are a couple of songs that kind of fit in with that, you know, 77 idea of punk, but ATV always went, you know, they always transcended that, you know. So a couple of songs sound, I think they've got guitar work that sounds like Public Image or you know, early Public Image or uh, um, I don't know. I thought of somebody. Well, one of my friends mentioned somebody else that I agree with, but I've forgotten who they mentioned now. But anyway, it's not regular punk, and what they did last week was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed what I saw of ATV last Saturday. Then there was my group. We all felt that we played one of our best sets ever, including a new song, The Horrors of Linden. I'll be honest, last year when we played Otto, we did another new song, and I didn't feel it worked. So from a personal point of view, I was much happier with how things went last week. The set was solid. I am. I don't like us playing too many of the old songs, but I realise we have to, and you know, the ones that we played last week are really good, and you know, they work well together as well. But I would like to see us perhaps play a few more new songs if we're to do this again, and I'm sure we will. Um, um, yeah, I'm thinking about a fifth label event in London as I speak. So, but not next year. It will be the year after, and possibly spring. I am discussing this with Otto again. I'm also discussing a two-nighter. So we'll see. We'll see if they go for it. Initially, they said that they were very happy to host another label night, but then I started mooting the idea of a two-nighter, and they've gone quiet. So I don't know. Maybe they just need to work things out. Maybe they need to let the dust settle on this, you know, latest one first. I don't know. But anyway, that's what I'm thinking of. If not, I'll look for another venue. Yeah, another venue in London. Maybe the Dublin Castle again. I don't know. But certainly I'm thinking of a two-nighter. So, yeah, Splintered. Everybody was happy. Lots of the crowd who are mostly there for ATV, congratulated the group, not just myself, but the rest of the group as well. Especially the drummer, I think our drummer Paul, who's amazing. But all of the guys are amazing. Stuart, the two Pauls, the rhythm section, and Jim, the guitarist. All of them are fantastic. I always love playing with those guys. You know, they're friends. You know, but anyway, yeah, we had lots of accolades after our set. Which is always, I think, a good sign. So maybe maybe in my younger days, I'd have said it was not a good sign, and it would be better if everyone just left the building or something. But no, I'm not that stupid anymore. So no, it was a very receptive audience, and they loved what we did as well. And Gary Mundy, who warmed the evening up. I mean, in terms of status, I would say he should go on after Splintered, because his Kleistwahr records certainly sell better than Splintered. But I didn't think in those terms. It's not a question of ranking or egos or anything like this. It's quite the opposite. ATV have to go on last because a lot of the audience are there for them, and just in terms of the dynamism, Splintered had to go on second because it was a full group, and Gary Mundy was just doing his guitar effects, vocals for a 20-minute set. Set of around 20 minutes. So it was just a nice way of warming up the proceedings, and he also went down really well. It was great. I thought he did a remarkable job of, again, warming up the evening, getting things going. And then we had Graham Duff, the mighty Graham Duff from Ideal, amongst many other things. He's on tour with Count Arthur Strong at the moment, I believe, in the UK. Comedy writer and actor, let's not forget. But he was doing, he was manning the DJ post in between, just filling out the gaps in between and before everything started, and at the end as well. Really nice guy. I've known him for a few years now, he was perfect. Massive ATV fan, so he was the right man for the job. So he was there, and again, great evening, great event. Still reeling, still riding the waves of satisfaction, maybe. I don't know. Although I'm still slightly frazzled as well. My journey from my parents' place on Tuesday to Stansted Airport took me, I drove for almost 4 hours, I think. It should normally be a 2.5 hour journey maximum, but there were accidents, lane closures. The M25, the orbital round London is a fucking nightmare. I hate it. And even when I drove from my parents to my friends in Herne Bay on Friday, that should also only take about 2 hours, but it also took 4 hours. Absolutely ludicrous. Lots of hold-ups everywhere, and I'm still very tired because of all of this, because of all the travelling and not really resting. I haven't worked while I was in England, so I did a few lessons online. Anyway, that's what I wanted to say. So I am thinking about a 5th label event for spring of 2027, not next year, because I've got too much family stuff happening next year, these things do require lots of time and organising and all the rest of it. So I kind of need a year out really from that. I've got enough on my plate with the labels right now. Plus, I really must finish the books that I've got in the works. The Nick Mott and the Grim Humour book 3. There's another book also in the works, but I don't even want to mention it at the moment. I think there are even 2 books that Fourth Dimension is supposed to publish at some point. But I want to focus on getting books out and family stuff next year, besides the labels. And also, really, if I'm going to do a 2-nighter in London, that needs more time and organisation. It's that simple. So I've got a couple of art. I generally work with the same artists each time. I'm sure Splintered will appear again, and maybe ATV, because what I alluded to earlier was the fact that Mark Perry has gone from, I think, announcing that last week's show in London would be their final ever show, to now saying that he enjoyed it so much that he'll do another one in Bristol. He's doing another ATV show in Bristol early next year, January or February, I can't remember. And I think he'll end up doing a couple more as well. So I think it's fair to say that ATV will be joining Fourth Dimension Records for the 5th label event in London. But what, you know, how that, yeah, I could be wrong, but if that's the case, we don't yet know, of course, whether it will be, you know, a set based on what he's currently doing, or whether it might be one of the more experimental improv sets. We don't know. Maybe it will just be him and an acoustic guitar. I don't know, do I? So, yeah. So that's one thing. The music that I was playing earlier is a test pressing for To Arrive at Nowhere by Andrew Liles. So the Lumberton Trading Company Elite Editions series is underway. I sent a copy of this test pressing to Andrew several days ago. It was supposed to go last week to him, but my wife forgot to send it. So you just can't get the staff, can you? So, yeah, she forgot to. So I came back, you know, Tuesday night, and on Wednesday she informed me that she'd forgotten to send 2 packages on my behalf. So, and one of them being the Andrew Liles test pressing. So I sent it on Wednesday, and I guess he'll get it sometime during the next few days or the next week, and then hopefully he'll agree to it being good enough to go, and that will be the first LP in the Elite Editions subscription series, of which we're up to almost 75 pre-orders. Don't hang around. I keep emphasizing this, but if you're interested in any of these LPs by Andrew Liles, irr.App, Mott, Reverse Image, Base Communion, and the Zoviet France double LP, you need to subscribe. There are 3 options available to do that now in the shop. Just go to the shop, look for the Elite Editions subscription series. Each of these LPs is going to be limited to 150. They're all exclusive. They're all unreleased material, previously unreleased material. 150 only, and they form part of a set with quite a specific design. So the idea is that you buy the set, the 6 LPs. You know, Base Communion, and Andrew Liles, Zoviet France, whatever, they all might make their music available elsewhere later. They might even reissue it. Who knows? But if, as part of this 6 LP set, which is going to have a specific, they're all going to be thematically conjoined by the way the front cover is presented, with what looks like an obi strip on it and going around, well, actually not just the front but the back as well, so as part of the sleeve design, not an actual obi strip, but that's what it looks like. So that's going to be on each of them. They're all going to, you know, have that same idea on them. So they're a definite set. They're not going to be sold through any other mail orders or whatever. You can only buy them direct. That was the understanding this set, this series of records was based on. I've made it easy. There are 3 options. You can pay £65, 3 lots of £65, a split payment option of £100, and then the balance of 90. I think that's what it is. And then there's the 190, the full pay, or is it 195? I can't remember. But go to the shop. All the details are there. And once these are all sold out, that's it. So I long wanted to do this, you know, this subscription series of LPs, a set of kind of limited edition LPs, just because I think it's a little fun and it helps bring some interest to the labels as well, and to the artists as well. I've said this to Stephen Wilson before. There are people in my circles that are not familiar with what he does. So, so in a way, although he's got his his own kind of huge fan base, in a way, I'm also introducing base communion to a couple of people. So that's partly what this, for me, that's partly what this series is based on. The idea of just, if you like Zoviet France, maybe you're like the base communion and the reverse image or whatever. If you like Andrew Liles and irr.App X and Mott, maybe there'll be something amongst the others, that you also like. Something you never checked out before. That's basically the idea. And no, there won't be any digital versions of these albums from the label. I just do not have time for that. I've got enough on my plate. If somebody ever said to me, I'll do all of this for you, just send me the file. But I don't really see the point. That's the other side of it, because all the artists make their own albums and releases available on their own platforms, their own digital. They use digital platforms to make their own releases available there. So I don't see what point. It seems like a lot of effort for nothing. So, to get 10 pence sent, 10 pence in sales every 2 months. No, fuck it. I like physical releases, and that's basically it. So that's what the labels are dedicated to. So yeah. Anyway, so if you're interested, I've said this before, but don't hang around. And really, I'm saying there will be 150 of each of those albums, but by the time the artists have got their copies, only 120, 110, 120 are up for grabs. So by the time other royalty copies and freebies have gone out, so I would say there are between 35 to 40 pre-order spaces still available. And we're up and running with the Andrew Liles LP. So, what more can I say? Get in now if you're interested. Otherwise, the Richard Young's Zulacrex LP is also at the test pressing stage. I did put the order through a couple of days ago for the main run, but I had no acknowledgement of my order from the company, so I'll chase them on Monday. And the Kleistwahr, the Battlefield is Everywhere CD, it was supposed to land on Friday. It didn't, possibly partly because it's a holiday weekend here in Poland again. So there was, a lot of shops closing early yesterday and so on. Another kind of go slow day in Poland. The same again next weekend, actually, although it will be Monday the 11th. That is the national holiday. Tuesday the 11th, sorry. And because of that, there'll be another long weekend. Lots of people will take the Monday off, blah, blah, blah. So, they like their holidays here in Poland. So, it's always a good excuse just to close up early and, go slow, etc. I'm not criticising. Battlefield is Everywhere. Excuse me. The Battlefield is Everywhere CD should arrive on Monday or Tuesday. I'll then be dealing with that. The Morality compilation double CD is about to go into production. The Tungu and Tabata Mitsuru CD will follow. That I haven't even got it in the shop yet, but that will follow after. And then there's a Sean Organ CD. And I keep saying this as well. It's a really good idea if you're interested in all of these CDs and perhaps the Kleistwahr Winter and Music for Zeitgeist Fighters CD, double CD rather, and the Fallen Sun CD, the latest Michael Cashmore, the Ninth Circle Beyond the Sun CD. If you're interested in any of that stuff, then it's worth taking out the 7 CD deal. So, and also I'm in the throes of sending out the extended network double LP at the moment as well. And to that end, because I really need to wrap this up, yeah, I started sending the extended network double LP Albus out 2 or 3 weeks ago when it first arrived. I then went to England, and because I went to England, I sent some US orders for the When Worlds Collide double LP, some outstanding orders for that. From there, Nick Hamilton of Central Bazaar and Horn of Plenty helped me as well, so I'm very much grateful for that. And yeah, I mean, I went to the post office near my parents' place when I got to England on the Wednesday, Wednesday the 22nd of October, and they said, oh, it's £25 to post a single double LP package to America. 25 fucking pounds. Ludicrous. And because of that, I went on Facebook and moaned about it, and then Nick Hamilton offered some help. I also had some CD packages as well for Fallen Sun and Michael Cashmore, so they've all gone, but I've still got lots of outstanding When Worlds Collide double LP orders for America, probably 30 or 40 still waiting to go, and the extended network double LP. I've got quite a few orders for that. The suspension of the postal service to America from Poland and many other European countries has gone since the end of August. 2 months now. I spoke to one of the ladies in the local post office on Thursday about it, and they said no news. Absolutely no news. It's ridiculous. I can see myself, although I lose money on it and I'm not happy about it, I can see myself sending another UPS shipment over to somebody to help me send these packages from the UK again. But I do that at a loss. The ones that I did last week, I UPS'd a box over then and also shoved a few in my suitcase as well. I shipped about 15 or 16 packages over, or maybe 20. I can't remember the exact amount. But, you know, it's 40, 50 pounds to UPS those over to England. And, you know, I paid for that. So yeah. So, again, to wrap things up, my labels need support. So, as they always do, and as I always stress, that's why I'm here doing this. I might even put the old donation link below again as well. But I'd really rather people just ordered something, you know, or signed up for the CD deal, or ordered one of the new releases. Oh, of which I forgot to mention the Edward Ka-Spel, the Sympathy Portal LP, is also at the test pressing stage, and it's been approved, and we're waiting to proceed. But I've got a huge bill for the extended network double LP hanging over my head at the moment, and it's probably going to fuck things up for me, to be honest, because, you know, that double LP should have appeared early summer originally, and it got delayed, pushed back for various reasons, and Cargo were initially going to kind of help me with the funding, and they're not now. So yeah, so I'm going to be in the shit again, probably. I hate to think how much it will cost. So yeah. Please, I don't really want to do another another appeal, fundraiser or whatever. I want to avoid that, especially 2 within the space of a year. But I really am looking at a big bill coming my way very, very soon, and I'm running out of records to sell. So, and sales are just down at the moment. They're appalling, absolutely appalling, really bad. So I don't know what's going on. I mean, it's always bad in the summer. Summer finished. There was a little kind of peak during late August to the end of September, maybe the beginning of the end of September, and October's kind of the labels are just financially flatlining again. I get the odd order here and there, and that's it. It's really, really bad. And I realise again, nobody has to buy anything, and I realise, cost of living is fucking diabolical now. So, people have other things to consider before, supporting a little label like mine. Of course they do. But I'm just pointing out, yet again, that things are not going to be looking good probably during the next couple of weeks or so. So please buy something. That's all I can say. Otherwise, generally happy because of what happened last Saturday. But thank you very much if you made it to the end. Cheers. Bye bye. Oh, and the photo that's being used as the thumbnail is of Splintered last Saturday by Chris Lowe. The guy that used to be in the Apostles, etc. And he's a great photographer. I have asked whether it's okay to use it. I'm hoping he'll say yes, but I'm using it anyway for now. Cheers. See you here again. So I'll probably be here during the week, actually, with the Kleistwahr. The Kleistwahr, The Battlefield is Everywhere CD. I nearly said double CD. I'm getting lost with all these double releases, double albums. Anyway, I'll be back here soon. You'll be sorry to hear.